It's doing quite well down there now. There's been a lot of improvements for the local people.
Well, I think it's much better now than what it was.
Well, life in Berkeley's been always very quiet. Never been much in Berkeley than much life to start with. But through the years it's progressed quite slowly, but it's beginning to find its way there now.
I think the bungalows are absolutely marvellous. Absolutely beautiful bungalows. Really nice to live.
All my neighbours are lovely and friendly. We've got a really nice street. Everybody gets on with everybody else.
It had improved a lot, and I thought, well, I have belonged here all my life. I'll come back to the inn. I do like it. It has improved the last few years.
Sure.
Cheese. We're playing on Need for Speed Underground. It's a racing game. John. I've only just started, so.
How better? You can do that.
I see you should hit the ball a bit softer and maybe we'll go in next time.
It's doing extremely well. We've had our problems in the past. Quite a few houses were demolished, but it's made for a much more improved area environmentally. We've got now a lot of play area, and I think the people of the area are appreciating that.
People looking from the outside to the inside, seeing there was a lot of void properties in this particular area. There was a lot of crime in the area at that particular time. In fact, it was very, very high on the ratings of crime.
Now it's quite a nice area to live in. There's been a lot of demolition in the past few years, which has quietened the estate down and made it a lot more open spaces.
Well, environmentally, we're already improving. People are getting a self-worth back again because we were heavily knocked down in the past. People lost all sense of value about the area. But that is, as I say, improving. And with regeneration and rebuild, I can only see it getting better.
I thought, you know, something has got to be done here. Something, the people need a boost.
3 and 2, 32. All the fives, 55. 2 little ducks, 22. 7 and 5, 75. All the sixes, clickety-click. By itself.
Well, originally it was the Belgian settlement. A lot of Belgians came across here at the turn of the last century. And they built up the area. They had their own hospital, their own schools, their own cemetery and everything. And since then, obviously, a lot of that's gone, but the old ties are still there. The names are still there also in a lot of cases.
31,
6,
36,
12,
69,
13,
76,
14.
86.
Correct.
Well, it was a family of 6, and 2 boys and 4 girls, and we're all brought up, born and bred in the huts. And as I say, we had a happy time together. Very little in pleasures, very little in pleasures, and we're all were happy with all, none of us had anything in the area. And we all were happy just playing with tin blocks and balls and nothing like they've got now.
The Belgians actually came from Belgium here to work in the ammunition factory in Exeter to help the war. A lot of the Belgians settled here, you know, in Elisabethville.
And I found out Elisabethville's got an S in instead of a Z because it's named after the Belgian Queen Elizabeth. What did the Belgians do? The Belgians made houses and they got soldiers and people that moved here in Elisabethville to make bombs. And they made a school for the kid Belgians.
And when I was 5, because you didn't start school before your birthday in those days, I went to what we used to call the hut school. It's really Elisabethville, but all the local people called it the huts because the Belgians had these huts built for them in the First World War, and they had the school built then.
What was it like in Elisabethville? It was quite nice.
Well, of course, when the Belgians were here, it was in the First World War, which was obviously before my time. But my mother and father lived in Bertley, and they remember them. And as far as I know, I think they integrated a little bit with the local people, although there was a high fence around the whole village. And it was run on a very regimented way. I think there were soldiers and they had their own police. But I think they did mix with the people in the town as well. So, and they came here to work in the munitions factory, which is the ROF, which is still there, making shells for the war effort.
There was no roads, just would pass from one place to another. The only street that was cemented and that was the main road here, Elizabeth Avenue. That was the only one.
Well, all the history I know of Elisabethville is opposite my back window. It's now coming down, which was a hospital for the Belgians.
Well, it was quite warm inside the house, but you could hear next door neighbour what they're talking about for the breakfast, for the tea.
Very old-fashioned, but didn't have what you have now, showers and everything. It was nothing. They had a big fire in the middle of the hut with a big chimney up, honestly. And you couldn't live in it, pet. No baths or nothing. But we're all happy in it, and that we're glad of it, you know. And nearly all of the people that's come back here is from Elisabethville. A lot of them are from the bungalows. In the bungalows now from Elisabethville.
Well, they were very friendly, especially where I lived. I've never known, when I was a young lad, a front door being closed. Everybody was friendly. I could go any house in the street where I lived, and I'd get a slice of jam and bread or a cup of tea. I used to run messages for them. And well, everybody was like that at them times. Everybody was friendly. But round about from the beginning of the war, everything changed.
Now I find the estate and what's happening to the estate with the play areas, with the lighting, with the houses upgrades and etc. I find it a very nice place to live, and we're finding people wants to come back here now.
Hello, Mark. Hello, Mark. Where are you? Where are you? Here I am.
Burtley Family Centre is a centre here in a community to support families. Right, next we're going to do... well, today's session was called Chatter Kids, and that session is about encouraging children's speech and development and sharing and waiting. And what we've done today is we've tried to encourage the parents to take part in their activity so that they can then go home and put their skills to use at home as well as in the centre.
Come on and listen. We got some shakers in our band. My goodness.
I think the benefits are that they've got a nice, warm, friendly environment with an open door policy where they can just drop in at any time. Burtley Family Centre is a huge resource in the area. There's nothing else here for the families. They come from Barley, as far as Barleymow and Kibblesworth. Everybody knows in the community if they have a problem or they need any advice, they can just come and knock on my door.
Wow. You're going to put it with your tree, you store on your shoe. You broke it. You broke it. So you broke it.
I didn't know what no bread.
And we have a very good warden over there who looks after us. But then we had blizzard. So if there's anything wrong, you phone this number and blizzard comes. So that's a big improvement.
But I'd like to think from the person point of view or from the service point of view, we're making it a pleasanter place for the people to live in. I think we're getting generally positive feedback from the residents in the area. If we get a call, we tend to send a feedback questionnaire in, and the vast majority of them are, I think we're doing a good job.
And obviously we're very worried about the safety of the youths in the area who are actually, going into the building. And also we actually worried in case that it actually gets set on fire.
The environment side of things, the likes of this, street lighting, footpath damage, it's across the board. It's a multitude of tasks we're responsible for. I think the fear of crime is far greater. Not aware of a massive amount of crime within the area itself, and I think the visible presence helps to reduce that anyway.
We needed new housing, we needed lighting, we needed new footpaths, we needed things to stop the crime, and I think we've seen that by talking to the youth, what they wanted, and it's been all their projects, everything that's happened in Elisabethville is down to the people of Elisabethville, because they are the ones that they planned everything from the play areas to the youth clubs and etc. and etc.
Both of you this time. Like a club that can help young children. Play games. To sit and have a laugh with your friends, it's good. Go on,
It's quite. A lot of them smash windows and everything, and the police are always called if we're shouting and if they're drinking.
Young kids get into trouble and that. Help young children to keep out of trouble.
Museum. I don't know if anybody.
Yeah, you want to watch that camera?
Like all of us respecting the place for what it is, and for more parks to be built.
Do you think she should have the pink crash all over it? Yeah.
Well, it's quite a lot going on actually. A lot of people don't know about some of the work, but I mean, for instance, in the last 2 years we've run summer play schemes, and which is finalised with a community day, and they've been very well supported. The first year, I think, it ran for 6 weeks through the summer holidays for the children, and there was 60 to 70 youngsters involved. Second year was much the same, but on the second year, the numbers for the fun day doubled. We had 500 to 600 people here, so I was very heartened by the support of the community.
Burtley Community Centre, which is on in Elisabethville. Well, on a Tuesday they come and they have a sing-song, and then they colour in, and then the rest of it's just free time.
It prepares them for when they do go to the nursery and they learn to interact with the other children. When she's at home, there are no other children to play with, and she gets very bored. So when she's here, she plays with other children her age.
It helps children socialise with each other, learns them how to share, and just lets them be themselves.
We try to do a lot for the children. We get them away on trips. A lot of them haven't travelled far outside the community. And if we can, we get them on educational trips and fun days and things like that.
Just to get it better and better. With no vandalism. This is our tenants association, and we do what we can for our own. In fact, I've done things for other people if I can.
Our annual exhibition is taking place today. We expect up to 1,000 people over the weekend, and we've got layouts from most of the northeast of England. The benefits of being here are that we have a club room at the back of the community centre. We've got 20 members, and we meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we build layouts, discuss modelling techniques and our own layouts that we have at home. Burtley Community Centre's got a lot going. There's always something going on, and we like to think that we contribute something towards the centre.
I mean, you've still got what you call your Belgium Cemetery, which has always been, that'll probably be the connection with, you know, I think it's just recently they've took the actual remains of the Belgians back to Belgium from the cemetery.
I think we should all take a pride in our history. It's our roots, and I think we should strive, obviously, to improve, but I just think it's so important to have a history and have a belief in where you've come from. Well, we have the normal issues. We have the issues of youngsters feeling there's not a lot to do, they get bored, one or two minor policing issues, revitalising the area also, those are the issues. But as I say, they're all moving forward, so I'm very positive about the future.
Well, actually, my house is in the middle of getting renovated. It's nearly finished, and all I can say is all the workers have been absolutely brilliant. There's been hardly any mess in the whole place. It's going to look better. There's still a lot of work got to be done, but from when I was little, the community spirit is still there somewhere.
Community facilities could be improved. There's a lack of area for use, community-based areas. We have a big community centre very close. That's quite well used. But at the same time, there's always other areas we could develop. The youth, for instance, want their own place where they can just literally do their own thing, be noisy if they want to be noisy. And that's something we could look for, possibilities of that in the future.
The whole area had been given money to do parks with so many houses. Like, it had to be like so many parks in so much area and what have you. And he said we've been given X amount of money to do a park.
Stop here. So which is there?
That's going to go over there.
You describe where that is?
And them swings is over there.
All right.
Yeah. So the big the big bit's separate from the small end. So
nice
we've got panels with like noughts and crosses and like pretend theatres and things like that. We've got hopscotches. There's a roundabout which is for like all the children, but it's also for disabled children. Climbing frames, swings, little bits and bobs for them. And then further, like over, away from them, we've got a bigger climbing frame with larger swings for the older children up to about 12-year-old. It's nice because I've been coming to this community centre for a lot of years. My kids have all been in this creche and road to Sunday. I was nearly 20. And it's nice to actually be able to put something back. Because we had a lot of fun in that park when we were kids, a lot of fun. But it was totally different then. Health and safety wasn't involved then, because they would have had a field day if they'd seen what we played with. But it'll be nice. It'd be nice to have to see the kids happy and not rolling around in the dog mud.
Yeah! And the sky's gold. And it's whooping now! Shava! Chocolate boy!